How you doing today? I want to take some time and talk about taking time. Quiet time, meditation, prayer, anything that you use to kind of, I should say, put your mind at ease, put your body at ease, put your spirit at ease. Um, when you're someone dealing with a chronic illness or with anything long term, it's important to take time to yourself to relax. Stress can be a hell of a thing. Um, Cortisol in our blood, it can wreak havoc on people who have to deal with things that are anywhere from inflammation to all kinds of issues. It just makes things a lot worse. So it's important to take those times to bring it down a notch. And it's hard when you're somebody who has a chronic illness, or if you're somebody who is dealing with a lot on top of the chronic illness. If you have a job, if you have kids, if you have a spouse, um, it can be a lot, especially if you're not only someone with a chronic illness, but you're also in a caretaker role as well. One that I find or have found myself in. For a long time in my marriage, and even before we were married, I was the one who was the sick one. I was the one who needed care and stuff like that at different intervals throughout my my wife and my relationship. And a few years back, she's actually celebrating her 5th year with stage 4 breast cancer. Now she's in NED status, which is no evidence of disease. So we're all very happy about that, but it is her 5th year with it. And even she does take those moments, those hours, hopefully. She's a very busy woman, so it's very important for her to do that. And usually I'm the one who has to remind her to take that time for herself. But getting back to the point at hand is, every so often, you have to take some time to yourself. And like I said, if you have a busy schedule, it's not that easy. I found personally with myself that when I was a little bit younger, and after having gone through the liver transplant and dealing with the colon cancer, around that time, actually I would say a little bit after colon cancer, prior to the kidney cancer, is when I really started getting into mindfulness meditation. That would explain these beads that you see me wear. I always have them on. I use them for meditation. Now, mindfulness has its roots in Buddhism. That's kind of where it all kind of started from, more or less. However, other cultures have other forms of mindfulness, their own forms of meditation that are very similar to mindfulness. And you don't have to be a guru, you don't have to be a yogi, you don't have to be a monk to practice mindfulness meditation. It's very, very simple. It's just being aware of yourself, your emotions, and your environment in the present moment. So it's not like you have to stop and look around, or take note of the time, or what's going on. No, it's not that. It's breathing. Nice easy breaths. Taking note of how you're breathing. You don't have to count each breath, but just taking the mosquito. Just taking time to pay attention to what you're doing, where you are, feeling the light on your face, or the sun if you're outside, how the air feels on your skin, if you're outside or inside. Does it feel warm? Is it cold? Can you feel your heartbeat? Is it pounding, or is it nice and smooth? Those are the things that mindfulness is. It's bringing yourself to the current moment, right now. And with my beads, although I do seated meditations, guided meditations as well, mindfulness is where I started from. And I use these beads whenever I look down at them, or if I see them in a reflection in the mirror. It's my trigger, or not my trigger, but my key to pay attention now. It's letting me know, all right, now is the time to be here, right now. And that's what I do. I just pay attention to where I am. What am I thinking? What am I feeling? And through months, years now of doing this, I've found that my stress level is much, much lower than it was prior to working 9 to 5, prior to running the kids around before or after school, prior to all the rigmarole that comes with domestic work, being a dad, cutting the grass, stuff like that. And with that stuff, that's a whole nother situation. Like, if you have the energy to do those kind of things, because that's not always a given that you'll be able to, especially if you're a guy. You're a dad, you're a husband, and you have a chronic illness. It can be really tough on guys, because we grow up thinking that we need to do certain things, that to be a man you have to be able to do this or do that, and if you fall short of that, that is a negative reflection upon yourself. And we don't always factor in the new information that we have about ourselves, that, oh, you have this now, or you're suffering from these illnesses, or you have this kind of disability or limitation. It can be havoc on our mental states, being a guy with a disability. But over time, with help, you can kind of adjust, and you can be okay with not being okay. You can find a new rhythm to how you live your life. And that's what mindfulness has done for me. And therapy. But mindfulness and therapy. But it helps a lot. It does help a lot, especially with stress and anxiety. Now, I'm not saying it's a cure for, anxiety issues. I'm not saying it's a cure for depression. I'm not saying it's a cure for anything. I'm saying that it can help. It has helped me. I know other people that it has helped. I know other people with chronic illnesses that use meditation, different types of meditation. But taking that time to do what meditation asks of you, which is to look inward, which is to pay attention to yourself, to pay attention to what's within, and learning how to filter through the chaos of the outside world and the chaos that goes on in here. Because if anyone has actually practiced meditation, it's kind of hard to do it the first couple times, because you have thoughts running through your head constantly. Oh, do I got to pick this up, after work, or did I remember to sign that note for the kids' field trip? Or, oh yeah, what am I gonna cook tonight? It's tons of thoughts that run through our busy lives all the time, and trying to stay on top of everything. And as I was saying, it's hard to find time to do that. For me, again, it was learning when to do it, finding that quiet place. And I would wake up earlier than I would have to get that quiet time in the morning when I was working, before I had to run the kids to school and everything. And initially that's how it started. I woke up earlier and had the quiet in the house, and I used that for my quiet time, that eventually turned into my meditation time. And then as life progressed and the boys got older and schedules changed and new jobs came up, I found other times when I could take some time for myself and focus on myself. Now, again, it is hard to find those times, but if you're someone with an illness, if you're someone with a chronic illness, if you're suffering from a disease, an injury, and it's really playing on your mind, and it's messing with your emotions, look for those times when it's quiet. Look for those times when you're not really around a lot of chaos and noise, to take that time and just breathe. Pay attention to yourself. That's it. I'm not saying that you have to have a mantra. I'm not saying that you have to do anything complicated. Just start by breathing. Close your eyes. I know it's kind of difficult to close your eyes, especially if you're in public, you just hear people looking at you. But if you can get over that, you can just close your eyes for a little bit. Or if you're in your own home, if you're somewhere private, in your car, close your eyes. Breathe. In and out. Just take it easy. Examples of times when you can do this, like I said, in your car, after work, in your car during lunch, if you have a doctor's appointment and you're waiting in the weight room, if you got to get tests done, blood work, scans. I mean, this is kind of my life, getting blood work every few months, scans, a few of them every year, seeing specialists a few times a year. I mean, there's multiple times right there. But then if you're home, if you're home and if you're on disability, if you're not working, and you have the ability to just sit, take it, sit, just for a few minutes, even if there's stuff that you have to do. You have to make time for yourself, because if you don't, you won't be able to have time with anyone else. Make time for yourself. Make sure you're okay, because if you don't, then you won't have any time with anyone else, because you won't be here. That's the real important part of it right there. You have to take the time for yourself. You have to focus on yourself, your health, getting yourself straightened out first, especially if there are people who count on you and love you. You want to be there for them. You want to give them the love that you have to give them. You want to be there for all the important events in their lives, and you want them for all the important events in your life. Take time for yourself. Take an assessment of yourself. Use that information if there is something to be had. If it's nothing more than just sitting still and breathing, and if after you've done it for 5 seconds, 10, 30, a minute, 3 minutes, see how you feel afterwards. And if you're a little bit calmer, a little bit more even keel, then you were successful. It's not going to be like that in the beginning, but over time you will find the benefit of it. And if mindfulness isn't the thing for you, there are plenty of other options available. It may be a hobby. I found that, as weird as it may be, I found that actually cleaning out my pool is kind of a meditation for me. It's weird, but like when I'm cleaning out my pool, or if I'm cooking, or if I'm doing yard work, when I'm actually engaged in a physical activity like that, it's like my mind's on autopilot and I'm just in the moment. I'm not zoned out. I'm not on autopilot so much, but this may be because of the constant training and stuff with meditation, but I'm just there. My mind is switched over, and I'm actually paying attention to me, everything around me, everything in me. And that begins to happen as a normal function of just how your mind works. You begin to find yourself more in the zone of meditation, of mindfulness. And it's pretty interesting. It can change your perspective. It can make you see things a little differently when you take the time to I think it's more being objective, but stuff like that. I'm starting to ramble, so I'm going to cut this out here. But yes, give mindfulness a try. It works wonders for me. I would strongly recommend it to anyone who is dealing with an illness, chronic disease, anything like that. Even a bum leg, like you hurt your leg or you messed up your ankle, and it's going to heal and you'll be fine afterwards. But even something like that, give mindfulness a try. It does wonders for me. Until next time, take it easy.